promise tomorrow today, but we'll find a way.
Yo, what's good? And welcome back to another episode of Mally Bray TV. Before we get started, guys, I need you to do me the biggest favor. Just really quick. Hit that like button. Please subscribe and turn that notification bell on. Please. Now, today's topic is why you should listen to people that's already been through what you're going through, or people that only want to see you do good, only want the best for you. Why you should listen to them. I cannot explain, guys, how many times in my life that somebody really close to me was trying to give me advice, just trying to see me do good, and I didn't want to fucking listen. You know, I'm young, dumb, full of testosterone, think I know everything. That's really loud. But yeah, I thought I know everything. You couldn't tell me shit. So a lot of times when people try to give me really good, heartfelt advice, I would just brush it off. And that shit can end up getting your ass hurt, killed maybe. You know what I'm saying? So this story is about, what can happen if you don't pay attention, and what if you don't listen to people that's trying to do good by you and only want to see the best for you. So, you know what I'm saying? Let's get it. So growing up where I'm from, it's real in the field out here, man. I'm a country boy through and through. I'm from Marion, North Carolina, 28752, out here in the deep in the country. I grew up my whole entire life riding dirt bikes, four-wheelers, just getting muddy, out here spinning donuts, fucking up, getting hurt. That's what I did. That's how I grew up. That's what I was raised around. My older brother, he put me on the game. He put me on how to ride safely, how to always ride for the fall, not for the weather. You know what I'm saying? Told me never to wear shorts. You're going to regret that when you hit that gravel and get skinned the fuck up. So a lot of advice I did listen to. It was just some of this main advice that I should have listened to, I didn't, and it got me fucked up. So I remember trying to learn how to ride a dirt bike. My brother had a XR 200. It was a four-stroke, a Honda. It was the same bike that Jethro had on Beverly Hillbillies. If you remember back on that movie, when he wrecked that dirt bike off into the pool, it was the same exact dirt bike. So me learning how to ride a dirt bike, I had a bad problem with this whole clutch issue, in your hand. I was really a slow learner when it come to that. My dad tried his best to teach me. So then one day, on this particular day, he's teaching me how to ride. I'm 12 years old, the summer before my 7th grade year. My dad's sitting on the back. Went up and down the road a couple times already. Barely made it there and back because I'm very sketchy with this clutch and changing gears and shit. My dad is heavier than me, so you got to think the bike is squatting already. All the weight's on the back tire. So it don't take much clutch movement for this fucking bike to take a wheelie and take the fuck off. So we done went up and down the road a couple times. My dad's like, hey, man, it's time to put it up. It's getting dark outside. Me not listening. I'm like, no, let's go one more time, Dad. Just one more time. He was like, nah, it's getting dark. Let's just put it up, son. I'm like, Dad, please. He's like, okay, just one more time. So my dad sat on the back of this fucking dirt bike. Right in front of us at the time, my brother, he's 7 years older than me, Wayne. His vehicle was parked on the concrete right in front of the house, maybe 5 feet in front of the dirt bike that I was sitting on. It was a Ford Escort, bright red. My dad was sitting on the back. I started giving the clutch off. I put it in first gear, clicked it down, and now I'm starting to let out the clutch a little bit, to give it a little bit of, when you wait till the bike starts shaking a little bit and give it some gas and you take off. So as I'm letting the clutch off a little bit, my dad's like, give it gas. You're going to kill it. I got excited, so I popped the fucking clutch, and you already know what happens from there. Me and my daddy took the fuck off. We took off. Flying toward the back of this fucking Ford Escort. Already doing a wheelie because my daddy is way heavier than me, so the weight was way disproportionate on the bike already. So we're headed toward the back of this fucking Ford Escort, doing a wheelie. I'm just holding on to the gas, straight whiskey throttle, not letting go. So we're full speed, first gear. Wait. My daddy jerks my arm, so we missed the back bumper of my brother's car, and then we end up hitting it anyway, sliding down the front of the passenger side of his car, wide the fuck open, my hand on the gas, still pulling, so the fucking bike is just screaming. My left hit broke the mirror off the passenger side of his car, and then we started headed toward the gravel and right down this big ass hill. And when I tell you this bank is the steepest fucking bank, it's right beside my house, and it was pretty much do or die time. My dad knew if we went down that bank, we were gonna die probably. So my dad made the decision to snatch my arm because I wouldn't let go of the gas. I'm just holding on for life. He's on the back. He snatches my right arm and makes us wreck to avoid going down this big ass hill. When we wreck, I wreck mouth first. By the grace of God, it didn't knock my front teeth out. Like, I had a mouthful of dirt, and when we wrecked, my dad was on the back. He did a front flip over me. His shoulder mashed my face into the ground. That's how I got dirt in my face, and it did it so hard it fucking dislocated my daddy's shoulder. He jumped up immediately, was trying to look after me as a father would, you know. I'm 13 years old. He ran over to me. I couldn't fucking breathe. At this time, I just now realized that something had knocked the breath out of me. I didn't know at the time, but it was the mirror. When my left hip hit the passenger side mirror on that Ford Escort, it hit hard. So here I am on the ground like, cannot breathe. My dad's like, bro, are you okay? You okay? I'm like, no, I can't breathe. I couldn't even say that. But that's what I was pretty much looking him in his eyes trying to say while I was gasping, just trying to get any bit of air that I could. I ended up breaking my wrist that day when we wrecked and he jerked my right arm. My right hand went down and cracked the damn ground and broke my hand. So I broke my hand that day. My dad dislocated his shoulder. I had a mouthful of dirt. My body was bruised and, I already had road rash and shit from all the gravel because there was no dirt. It was all rocks. And then that was a hard learned lesson that day. A hard learned lesson that day on why you should listen to people, man. My dad told me to put that fucking bike up, and I just had to go one more time. It ended up almost killing both of us. If it wasn't for my dad jerking my arm, you know what I'm saying, and keeping us from going down that fucking bank. Like, there's a bank right here beside my house, and it's pretty steep. But it's nothing compared to the bank that was at my house that day. Like, the bank that was in my house that day, it would have been 2 casualties probably, or 2 vegetables. So that's story number 1 right there. Okay, guys, story number 2, man. So I was 12, 13 years old in the first story. We fast forward to my junior year in high school. I'm 17. I done learned a lot more. I'm better at riding, so my head's a lot bigger. I done been through a lot of wrecks. I think I know what I'm doing now. But I was riding a little shitty-ass little 4-stroke when I wrecked. This time, my brother decided to pull out this demon Suzuki RM250 2-stroke. I've never seen a 2-stroke. Most guys start off on a 125 or some shit. They feel them power bands. They know what it feels like. I had no idea what a power band was. The first time I tried to get on this bike and ride, it scared the fucking shit out of me. I have never rode a bike that was so dangerous and so fucking fast and uncontrollable. And I only went through like the first 2 gears. I might have went in the third and then backed off of it real quick. So I brought it back home and shit. I don't know if my brother knew I did it or not, but it was really loud, so he probably did. But anyway, he come out of the house and I was like, yeah, can I ride it? He was like, yeah, but do not go out of second gear. I'm like, what? The 4-stroke that I wrecked before was 6-speed. I've been riding those. I've been riding my homeboy. He had a KTM 200, 2-stroke. I've been riding his shit. It was scary as fuck on pavement. I've been a rider, you know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at him like, what you mean I go out of second gear? I'm not a 10-year-old, bitch. I'm 17. All right, I won't go out of second gear. Let me ride this bitch. So anyway, I'm his brother. You know what I'm saying? My brother's always bringing these demon toys to the crib, so he lets me get on it. I ride up down the road once or twice, just put in second, not even really feeling the power bands. I go down the road past the house, and it's like past my house. There's a beautiful road. It goes straight down and straight back up. But the only thing about it is both ways. At the very top, it's a blind curve. Me not really thinking about this day. On the way back toward my house, I decided to stop and gear down to first gear and just, pretend I'm racing somebody. I'm loud. I'm loud to the point that neighbors just coming out their house and like standing by the side of the road looking at me like, what the fuck is this dude doing? So I'm watching the audience. That gets me even more hyped up. You know what I'm saying? I'm in full nigga mode. I'm ready. I take the fuck off on this bike. And let me tell you, the bike was so tall, I couldn't even stand up straight on it. I had to stand on one leg or the other. I'm sitting on the gas tank damn near because on gravel, it still tries to stand up on you. So I take off down this fucking hill. I never felt a power band before. The power band pulls my neck back. Instead of me just calming down, I shift into third. I'll hammer that bitch. And next thing I know, the power band pulls me back even further. I'm headed up this fucking hill, hauling ass. And when I get to the top of the hill, I see an F350. And keep in mind, this is a one-lane road, a one-lane dirt road. I'm probably going 45, 50. Man, I get to the top of this fucking road. There's an F350 blocking the road. And I had probably 35 to 40 feet to figure out how I wanted to die, pretty much. Because I couldn't stop. I'm on gravel. I end up squeezing the fucking clutch, squeezing the front brake and the back brake. I made all three mistakes. I let the bike out of gear so it got even faster. Then I just compensated for that by squeezing the front and back brake. I just slid in the front row, slid toward the front of this grill of this F350. I was just staring at the 3 and the 5, just like, I'm done. As soon as I get near the truck, I squeeze the front brake even harder, not meaning to, and do a front flip over the fucking handlebars and slide on my back in the fucking gravel and in the dirt. Headed toward the trees and shit. Hit a tree and I'm just stuck there. I see the passenger of the F350 look out the window and look at me. The driver got out. My luck, he was an EMT. He got out the truck, his big fat white dude, and was like, hey, man, are you okay? I'm stuck in the fucking tree, like, can't move. I'm like, bitch, no. By then, the neighbor that was standing outside that was watching me do this stupid shit, he had already ran up the road when he heard me wreck and went and got my mom and dad. Well, my dad wasn't home, but my mom and my brother. My brother came running out the house, partly because I was on his bike that he had just bought. Beautiful piece of work, and I just fucked it up. And, secondly, because his brother might be in pieces at the top of the road. So my brother gets to the top of the road, and he sees me wrapped around a tree. He's like, TJ, what'd I tell you, man? And I just gave him that look like I'm sorry. But I had the need for speed, bro. I should have been dead. My brother had to pick me up like a baby and cradle me to the back of this F350. They put the tailgate down and sat me on top of it, and my brother had to get scissors and cut my shirt off because my back was so skint up, my shirt was sticking to me. So they had to cut like a big-ass upside-down U across my shirt and then pull it off of me. And then ended up laying me down on a plastic board when the EMS got there and took me to Mission Hospital, which was like 35 miles away, 36 miles away from where I was at. Gave me pure oxygen all the way there. By the time they got me there and tried to take me off the board, my fucking back was so skint, it was stuck to the board. So I felt like they peeled me off of this motherfucker. I screamed. And where I had wrecked and stuck my palms out, I had no skin on my hands. The whole entire, 90% surface of both hands was gone from where I slid in the gravel, obviously trying to protect your face. And I had a helmet on. But it's just your first reaction when you're going that fast is to put your hands out to break your fall. My ass had a white chunk missing from where I slid in the gravel on my side, on my right hip. It ripped my pants off of me, ripped my underwear off of me, and ripped all 2 or 3 layers of meat off of my ass. So I remember laying in bed at night crying because I had to sleep on my stomach because my back was fucking skin up, my elbows were skin up, the palms of my hands were skin up, and my ass was skin up. And the only time I could walk around without a gauze pad on was at nighttime, and I took the gauze pads off, and I put baby oil or whatever Neosporin, whatever he's putting on it to heal it, and I lay there and let the air hit it, to get some fresh air on it, and let it breathe while the gauze pad wasn't on it for once. But yeah, that's what I went through, all because I didn't want to listen. My brother said don't go out of fucking third gear or second gear, and I thought, like, what the fuck ever. I think I might have went through fourth that day. I was probably going 55. The pain was excruciating, and it was a really harsh reminder and a hard learning lesson, because I could have fucking died that day. And it makes so much sense. My brother has crotch rockets out the ass and will not let me ride them. I haven't asked ever, probably in 10, 15 years, since I was a youngin' when I did these things. But I don't know, that shit follows you. And even to this day, when I hear a motor rev up or hear like a dirt bike throttle up really, really, really high, if they don't let off of it, I have PTSD. I start looking around and making like trembling and shit, because it reminds me of the noise when I had that whiskey throttle in the first story. And it reminds me of the noise of that power band. And all of a sudden, the sudden halt when I seen that F-350 staring at my fucking face. The shit's crazy, man. And shit could have been avoided. It could have been prevented if I would have listened to my older brother, because he had been there and done that. This is what he does. He's a rider. And for some reason, I felt like I knew more and that I didn't need to listen. And I fucked myself up to the point my dad told me, if you have to go to the ambulance one more time, I'm going to make you go. I'm sick of these fucking bills I'm getting because you don't want to listen to people. So yeah, it is what it is, but that's just my story. I know plenty of you guys out there know plenty of times you should have listened to somebody and you got yourself fucked over and did something dumb, or something dumb was done to you that could have been easily avoided if you would have listened. Don't be like me, guys. Listen. People out there love you and they know you. They don't want to see no harm be done to you. They want to see you prosper in life. They want to see you live life with no worries. And if even possible, have a better life than what they had. If only you would listen. Kids, your parents are not as dumb as you think they are. But that's my story for today, guys. My son's here. It's the weekend. It's Saturday, August the 3rd, I think, or September the 3rd. My son is here. I'm just hanging out with him. I figure I'd give you guys a little content while I was sitting here chilling with my son. He's playing GTA 5 on the PlayStation. But yeah, until next time, guys, have a great Labor Day. Stay working hard. Blessings will come. And until next time, y'all just be easy. What's good? This is my son right here, y'all. He's over for the weekend. We over here playing GTA 5. But yeah, he's the reason why I do everything I do. I figured I'd show you my little homie. His birthday is September 10th, so I wish him a happy birthday, guys.
But we'll find a way.